chamber as well as those bills.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm in the same boat as Miss Miller and Mr. Maloney. My home on 200 Park Street has been flooded 3 different times. And at the last meeting, I left a packet with the bills and everything. And then after that, our last toad strangler we had, I have an additional bill. Well, this is a new, and we got to it early, so it wasn't as much as the others. And and then if you'll look at the back of the package that I left the last time, where a city employee came on the property and dug up a line and punctured the line, broke the tile. So I had additional expenses and just walked off and left it. And you can see the pictures of it there. Covered it up with a coffee can. I wasn't even aware of it until the renters at the time called me and told me that it had happened, so I went over and looked at it, and that was what I found. So Graves Plumbing came over, fixed it, replaced it, and if you'll see on this color picture here, right here at this water hydrant was where the puncture was done, and I had to replace all that line all the way out to the street. And so, like I said, I guess I'm in the same boat as Mr. Malone and Ms. Miller.
I don't quite think so, sir.
Okay?
Let me tell you what.
Okay?
You asked me to go down and talk to your plumber. I did.
Okay?
He told me the biggest problem that you had was that you had clay tile and it was going uphill. That it had sank and it was going uphill. The second thing, our line was here. You're not on the end of the line. There wasn't a problem to that line. The employee did go on there. The employee mainly went on there to try to show you that it was not the town's issue. Secondly, you have been told, according to the court, that your previous renter had the same issue. So, your previous renter had the same issue. One of the bills that you submitted wasn't even for that place, it was for out there. If I was a total jerk, I would have flipped that, went ahead and said it was fraud. You know.
Well, it might have been put in there by error.
Well, I personally don't think that, you know, I as a town president, as a town ordinance, I don't think that you have a case against the town.
Okay.
And I don't say that we have anything to do. You gentlemen are welcome to say anything against it.
Well, Doug says that he has looked over that. Water line was installed with a long drainage or slope on it, and hasn't been corrected. Been that way for a long time. This last rain that came in, that property been flooding for a long time. This one rain was not caused that for the first time.
And
The town should not pay for something that's your problem. The house sits lower than the street.
Well, I've been asked Mr. Benjamin several times, the easiest way to fix that would be to put just maybe 3 or 4 inches of blacktop on the road to funnel the water to the middle of the street.
we are sitting, Odin is sitting in a glacier plain. We all know that. You know, no one can complain about floods because I had floods. I spent $5 grand digging a ditch around the house. so that I wouldn't have floods in my place, or my swimming pool, or my bar room. I put in 2 sump pumps for that reason. I didn't ask the town to do it, because it was my problem, not the town.
So in other words, then Mr. Malone's is completely different?
Mr. Malone's, the insurance company is handling, because we felt that we may have an issue. Ms. Miller's, we may have an issue. Yours, I'm not fixing it.
Well, when my sewer line was punctured, I wasn't even called.
Did that puncture result in all these parts and all this labor?
This
One
was
hole?
One hole, this was done between the second and third flood.
But this was the bill to fix it, right?
This
Not
was the
just to
last
fix that
bill.
hole.
The last bill was to fix that.
Sir,
So,
Doug?
first of all, Doug,
This has been an ongoing problem on your property since
Sure.
I started for the town.
right, I agree with that.
Yeah, Mr. Townsend go down there and root it.
We did.
I get the call that the cat clean out when the outside's off, raw sewer running out on the ground.
Right.
As the supervisor, I gotta do something about that. There's little children living in that house.
Right.
I contact you, you tell me branch stairs gonna come. I wait 3 or 4 days, no
Right.
branch stairs, no locates, no nothing.
Right.
Okay, in the meantime, the pressure's still on me.
Right.
Finally, you get graves down there.
Mhm.
And they wrote a route and they go 30 foot, which is right at the back of the house where the clay tile and the kitchen where the old drain was, and a septic tank. They said they hit something hard, it opened up and drained. Well, they got all the solids pushed out. And I've tried to tell you this. They got all the solids pushed out, so put a water ramp roll. A week later, the solids built up in there because it was running uphill to that septic tank. The solids built up, we got the cap on her, so now it's running back up in the bathtub. That's why they took the cap off originally. And this issue's been with previous renters that have told me so. Tried to tell you that. They might have went out 100 feet. I really think they were rolling around in that old septic tank. But I told you we were clear out on our lateral. I told you we were gonna go open up a hole in there and run back the other way, because the problem was not out here. It was behind the house where they were hitting something, and it was that septic tank. The lady renting the house told me they could do laundry, run the kitchen sink, and not have a problem. They'd go take a shower or flush that toilet and come back up into the tub. Because it was running uphill to that septic. To meet that septic, they had to run uphill. Okay, so we ran and went 30 feet back in this way. We hit the septic. There was water standing in there, so we couldn't scope it. But we did come this way, and it was clean all the way out. Same thing Mo told us from there. The reason they had to replace all this line wasn't because of that little hole, because I can take a piece of pipe and a firm coat and have that fixed in a half hour. The reason they had to run that line is because they had to go deeper, because you're so high on the backside of this house here, you were running uphill. So they had to dig that out to drop it down to get the grade to hit our sewer line. That's why. That $850 or whatever it was, that was not to fix that hole we put in there. And I did call you and told you we'd done it. I covered it with a 5-gallon bucket and told you you needed to get Graves or somebody, whoever you're gonna use in there to repair that line. You needed a new line, and that's what they ended up doing, and it works, doesn't it?
Has so far.
Okay. It
Nice.
works. Now, the water coming off the street, you've talked to me about that ever since I started for the town.
Right.
And I told you you needed to come to a board meeting. You never did until this sewer problem,
Right.
correct?
Right.
Okay. I suggested to you that you tear them bushes out from in front of the house and slope that water to the west.
Right.
That would have been a good start.
Right.
Okay, I don't like you saying I done something on your property and you weren't
okay,
aware of it.
okay. Bottom line, the town's taking no stance on your
Okay.
claim.
Thank you.
Mhm.